Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just briefed the members of the Security Council on my visit to Sri Lanka. As you know, and as I have already briefed the members of the General Assembly, I had three objectives in my visit 2 weeks ago. First and foremost, to provide all necessary humanitarian assistance to more than 300,000 displaced persons, and also urging Sri Lankan government to allow unimpeded access by the international humanitarian workers, including the United Nations agencies. I am told by the Sri Lankan government that the situation has improved since my visit, and the restrictions have been eased. Secondly, to help those displaced persons and Sri Lanka resettle them to their original home provinces, and including the demining activities. And thirdly, more fundamentally, to help Sri Lankan government to reach out to minority authorities, including Tamil and the Muslims. This will be much more important in a longer term. And also I'd like to ask the Sri Lankan government to recognize the international call for accountability and full transparency. And whenever and wherever there are credible allegations for the violations of international humanitarian law, there should be proper investigation. And again, I would like to take this opportunity to warn against the risk of triumphalism in the wake of victory after this military conflict. This will really hinder the ongoing efforts by the Sri Lankan government and people and international community in helping healing the wounds. It is very much important at this time to unite and heal the wound rather than enjoy all this triumphalism in the wake of the end of conflict. I am very much grateful to all this very kind support and comments made by the members of the Security Council for the continuing role at my level, as well as United Nations humanitarian agencies. The challenges still remain huge and enormous. This requires international assistance and help, and United Nations stands ready to continue in providing humanitarian assistance, and we also remain ready to facilitate the ongoing efforts by the Sri Lankan government in healing the wounds through national reconciliation, through inclusive political dialogue. Thank you very much.
That were taken by the government that were in the conflict zone. They've now said that they're all going to be put on trial. There's a BBC report, and also that some people are being taken from the camps. What's the UN going to do about those two issues?
I'd like to urge again to Sri Lankan government to follow up the agreement which have been made during my visit, which was stated in the joint statement. I raised this issue to President Rajapaksa and the Foreign Minister separately, and also a joint meeting to look after this. The three government doctors who are detained while they were engaged in humanitarian activities. The Foreign Minister assured me that he would look into this matter. I will continue to follow up this issue. Now, it is crucially important that the Sri Lankan government follow up on all the promises they have made. Any inquiry to be meaningful should be supported by the members of the United Nations, and also should be very impartial and objective. And we will, I have been urging this matter to Sri Lankan President. he assured me that he will institute the necessary procedures to ensure the transparency and accountability of this situation.
Mr. Secretary General, does this show a level of impotence on the United Nations' part that you are continually going to the Sri Lankan government as a petitioner? There doesn't seem to be any right to protect being asserted here. You're coming late to the conflict.